Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, I'm Haziq from University Utara Malaysia. So over the past months, I have the opportunity to experience the 20-day practicum at the Shah Alam High Court, and it was an eye-opening experience that allowed me to explore different divisions of the court, observe a variety of cases from criminal to civil, talk to judges, registrars, prosecutors and also other court staff. So in this video, I'd like to walk you through what I did each week, share some of the lessons I picked up and reflect on how the experience has shaped the way I see the legal profession. So stay tuned. So for the first week, it's all about the orientation. It's how to understand how the court works and run and getting comfortable with the new environment, as I'm not the one who are having the practicum there. There's also friends from UUM also and from other universities, so we have to get to know each other first. So on the very first day, I learned about the court administrative and case management systems. I also sat on a medical negligence hearing. That was my first time, and there I watched lawyers question witnesses and present the arguments in real courtroom that made the theories I studied in class come alive. Because basically I just watched in class and YouTube, in dramas and so on. So as the week went on, I moved between different courts. At Session Court 3, eventually I went to Session Court also. So I observed the cases under the Dangerous Drug Acts and the theft matter. It was interesting to see how sentencing become more complicated when accused person have dependence of prior records. The judges has to weigh so many factors before deciding the cases. So that's the first experience I watched. Eventually, it's in the Session Court because it's just nearby the High Court. So I also followed a defamation case involving a teacher and the newspaper, the Indian newspaper called the Makat Osai newspaper. It raised a question about implied defamation and also the media responsibility that shows how subtle language in publication can lead to disputes. So at the end of the week, I observed proceedings in also the Construction High Court. It was fascinating to see how judges manage case like mixed legal arguments with technical construction details. And I would say that they showed me how broad legal practice can be and how important it is for judges to understand other industries as well, like not the normal cases that we've been heard. Even in construction matters also, the disputes can be brought to the court. Okay, so next, in my second week, it focused mainly on criminal trials, especially drug-related cases. I would say during my internship in courts, it is rare to see other cases except other cases beyond drugs and also murder case. It's always drugs and murder. So I spent a lot of time in Criminal High Court 1 in the week 2, watching trials under Section 39B and Section 12, Subsection 2 of the Dangerous Drug Act. So I saw defense lawyers conduct examination in chief, and I learned how prosecutors build a case step by step. After one hearing, Deputy Public Prosecutor kindly explained how police investigation papers, or in Malay we call it the kereta siasatan, can support or weaken prosecution, and how an opening speech sets one tone for trial. That's basically I learned from DPP called Pon City. So we got along together throughout the practicum with us. Pon City, lots of questions, and I would say we learned a lot from her. Yeah, so another day I observed how detainees are held in temporary rooms before being transferred to police station or prisons. So basically, we normally say it's a lockup, but lockup is a gazetted place. So since this place is not gazetted, we just call it a temporary detention room. Yeah, so it was a reminder that legal proceedings are not just theory. There's a whole logistics side to ensuring detainees' welfare and rights. I also watched a plea bargaining application in the magistrate court where personal circumstances and of the accused were considered. And I learned what happened if the judge is transferred before finishing a case. It is either continue, we call it part heard, or very rarely start de novo, which means start again. Because when a judge that have been listening to a trial until half and being transferred, the next judge can request to hear the case again. This is just to uphold the concept of fair and justice in criminal or other hearing. So later in the week, I discovered two new concepts, which is we call it the representation, where lawyers write to the prosecution to reduce or amend the charges, and also the arahan amalan, which is the agreement about the procedure and evidence management. Seeing all this gives me a deeper respect for the planning, negotiation and discretion that go into criminal practices. So basically, in argument or in court or anything, it's not about how we always fight, just like we see in the dramas and also the movies. In real life, negotiation, planning is important. We don't always have to argue, but we negotiate so that both parties can get justice. Next, for week 3, it was a blend of criminal and also the civil work, because during my third week for my practicum, I was transferred to the civil and criminal back to back. So in criminal also, I followed the case of as I remember, the public prosecutor against Hafiz, which is a Malaysian artist. It's an assault case. And also the public prosecutor against T. Kiam Shin, which is involved trafficking and poisons offences. So I watched how evidence was built through witnesses, from a police storekeeper identifying the exhibit to a chemist confirming lab reports. Everyone in the trial where they have been brought as a witness have to present their case, have to present their self confidently and ensure all the information they give is correct, and they cannot make it up, because we are delivering justice and we are seeking justice for the victim and also justice for the accused. So seeing this, how each piece fit together helped me understand the change of the change of from prosecution case to the defense case, and also lastly for the final verdict. So basically I would say it's an eye-opening experience. And later that week, I also remember that I was observing a high-profile defamation case between Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and our current Prime Minister, Dr. Shah Alam Ibrahim. So it was unlike anything I've seen before, a reminder that courts handle disputes that can affect national conversation, and that judges must stay impartial even when the parties are prominent figures. So basically, I've seen Tun Dr. Mahathir in person before, and also Dr. Shah Alam Ibrahim in person before. So seeing them in court together in an argument, in a court trial, I feel like it's something, okay, this is new to me. So we also met some judges to discuss about the important section of the Criminal Procedure Code, which is section 113, because technically the whole week the court has been hearing the cases revolving section 113, where section 113 is important to the case. So it deals with statements made to police, hearing the insights, how they evaluate the voluntariness and reliability, and give me real sense on how legal provision were in the practice. So I would say week 3 is kind of hectic. So to round off the week, I rotated into the bankruptcy division also. It was a slower pace but very instructive. I learned how court balances creditors' interests with debtors' ability to recover, and how orders are structured to give everyone a fair chance. So basically, I would say I learned a lot in a bankruptcy division, considering that I've never taken such course. So yeah, the registrar and also everyone in this division are very helpful when we ask their answer happily. So I would say I'm happy for the third week of my practicum. Yeah. And then here comes my final week of the practicum. So it introduced me yet to another side of the court. I started back in bankruptcy division in the first day, it is Monday, to clarify the procedures with the registrars, then moved to the execution division. There I witnessed a public auction of properties as part of enforcing court judgment. I watched how orders translate into real outcomes. That shows me that justice doesn't end with the decision. It's also about making sure people can actually obtain the remedies they have won. So basically, if another court has give the decision, and we as a parties that wanted to ensure that the court decision is made by the other parties, we can apply to the execution division to actually execute the other court decision. So after that, I spent 2 days in the power of attorney division. I learned how people authorize others to act for them, a process that is less dramatic than trials, but just as important for an access to justice, especially for those who are ill, abroad, or unable to attend court themselves. So basically, there in power of attorney division, I met Tuan Sufian. So me and my colleagues really learned a lot from him, as he said that there's not so much thing to learn about power of attorney, because it just dry at that, because yeah, you can see the documents and so on. But the session will turn into more exciting because we can have deeper conversation with him about other cases as well. So considering he have been in so much positions before, we gain a lot of insights from him, especially about the legal profession. Yeah. So on my last day after finishing our observation, we met our supervisors, all of our supervisors, to thank them for guiding us. Then celebrated with my fellow colleagues at a farewell dinner. So I would say it was a warm ending to a very full month. I really appreciate each one of them. So looking back, I'm amazed at how much I was able to see and learn in just 20 days. I came in expecting to sit quietly at the back of the courtroom, but instead I gained insights into so many areas of law, from criminal law, defamation, construct and dispute, bankruptcy, enforcement, and also the powers of attorney division. I watched how judges manage the complex proceedings, how prosecutors and defense lawyers prepare their strategies, and how registrars and staff keep the whole system running smoothly. What struck me the most is how human the work is. Behind every statute or procedure are people, victims, accused person, debtors, creditors, journalists, business owners, having disputes with each other. The practicum reminded me that the purpose of law is to serve the society, to protect rights, and to make sure decisions are carried out fairly. I also value the mentorship and friendship I found along the way. Judges and registrars were generous in answering all my questions. The staff were patient in showing us around, and my fellow interns made my day lighter and even funnier. One more, the courtesy call with the judges in particular reminded me that law is a profession built not only on knowledge but also on values, integrity, patience, and a deep sense of service to the community. Listening to their personal stories and reflection helped me see how these qualities guide their decision every day as judges, and it inspired me to cultivate the same sense of responsibility and professionalism as I move forward in my own legal journey. So this experience has strengthened my passion for law. It showed me that being a lawyer isn't just about citing sections and winning arguments. It's about responsibility, clarity, and a commitment to justice. For me, I'm very grateful to everyone at the Shah Alam High Court for welcoming me and giving me such a rich learning experience. And I hope to carry this session forward, and I hope to carry this lesson forward, whether in my studies, my future career, or simply in how I view the role of law in the society. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for my future updates.